Today I'm going to show you how to come up with the best solar ad campaigns for 2024. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ivan, and on today's video, I'm doing what I do best, which is I'm going to show you some really good advertising campaigns, and I'm going to show you some really bad ones so that you know what not to do. And if you're wondering why you should trust me, I've had a solar marketing agency for the past 4 years, and we've spent over $13 million in solar ads across multiple different platforms. So I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so a lot of people want to learn how to run good ads, and I'm going to show you from my experience, it's not that difficult to come up with a good campaign as long as you understand the mind of the buyer, the people who you're trying to target. Because at the end of the day, attracting the right quality individual is the most important thing out of any campaign in any industry. Now today, obviously, we're focusing on solar, and my goal is to provide you with some actionable tips that you can apply right now as soon as you're done with this video. So let's begin. All right, so as you can see my screen already, we have pulled up some good and bad campaigns. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the best possible tool for spying on other people's campaigns. Why would I do that? Because that's how you become with the best possible ideas for you to run your own solar ad campaigns. All right, so we're going to head over to the Facebook ads library. Now, as you can see my screen, I already pulled up some solar ads, and it's very easy to do. You go to the Facebook ads library, you type it on Google, and then what you do is you set your parameters, United States, all ads, and then you search by keywords. My keyword for that one is Go Solar, which is pretty generic. And then on filters, what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's all active. So I want to do, okay, let's say we want to do all active ads. So we're going to apply that one filter because I don't want, that filter I think was already applied, but I don't want any campaigns, because if you don't actually take that filter off, what's going to happen is you're going to get campaigns that are no longer running. And so what you want to do is you want to start scouting the ad library for ideas. And this is how you do it. I'm going to show you some good and some bad campaigns. So as you can see, we can see that these ones are pretty, there's a pretty generic Go Solar. You can tell from the creative, Go Solar for zero down, zero out of pocket, qualify homeowners. So they don't have any funnels here. How do I know that? Because the learn more button is actually turned off. So it must be a lead form ad, which is actually pretty good. A lot of people try to run their ad to a landing page, and it's not necessarily the best solution all of the time. A lot of times, actually, what we've done is we switch our clients over to just lead form ads, and they tend to perform a lot better than a funnel ad with a landing page. You don't need to do that. Now, as soon as you spot a good, how do you know a good one? Well, I usually look for bright colors. As you can see here, they've used a lot of red. Now, I don't like that it's too much in your face, like Go Solar for zero down, like they're trying to sell you the concept of solar, and I don't really like that. Put a bait out and create a real customer journey, because that's the only way that you're gonna lure people into your spider web, as I like to call it, and then you'd have them take the next step, which is what you want in any given funnel. Your ad is there to simply bait the right person that you're looking for. So the perfect avatar that you're looking for. So right here, if we actually read the copy, it says, have you heard of the 2023's biggest movement? So it doesn't scream solar. This one doesn't scream solar. And I like that. I like ads that don't scream solar, because a lot of people have a negative connotation about solar, and I like to fight that on the phone. I don't want to be messing around with that straight on the ads, because I'm not trying to get married, as soon as I meet a stranger. What I want to do is, first I want to lure them into my spider web. I want to famoosh them, and then when they're ready, I'm going to propose. So like, that's exactly what this copy is doing right here. So if we review the copy, it says, have you heard of the 2023's biggest movement? It's called GS&S. I don't know what that is. GS&S is like, to me, that creates an open loop from my brain. And my brain's like, what is a GS&S? Now, all of a sudden, I cannot think of anything. Now, all of a sudden, my brain doesn't want to move on to something else. I want to first figure out what GS&S is, because that's how our brain works. Your brain wants to figure it out in the fastest way possible. So it makes you want to read further, which is what you want. You haven't? Okay, many homeowners are calling it the movement of the decade. Why? Because it is literally saving homeowners like yourself $1,000 without having to do any heavy lifting or working your ass off. Others are calling the 23 is a bit hack, whatever. So they're talking about the GS&S. I like that copy, okay? I don't know how it is performing. Now, I can see that it's launched on the 18th of December. That doesn't mean anything. It could have been just, they're relaunching it, for example. It could have been a brand new copy. But I like it because it creates that open loop that I said. And it's pretty much, it's a long copy, but it's it lures you in. And it makes you want to read more, which is what you want out of a campaign. Now, it looks like from the creative, they target a very specific area, which is Chester County, approved solar program. Okay, so they have actually solar, the word solar in the creative, which is okay. But you can't really see anywhere else other than here in the description. And then when you click on get offer, let's see what it leads you. It leads you to a survey landing page, which is what I actually like. I don't like complicated landing pages. From my experience, complicated landing pages don't really work. Okay? You want it to get straight to the point. Now, I can see that they have a phone number here also, which we don't really use. We don't really do a phone number, but again, that's Rain Solar, so I'm assuming that's the company itself. I guess they can afford to do that, but it's also dangerous if you don't have the right setup. And if you don't have a call center, you can actually miss a lot of opportunities by leaving a phone number out, because instead of filling out a form and getting someone's details, they can straight up call the number. And then if you don't have someone to call right then and there, then it's going to be a wasted opportunity. What I would do if I am these people, Rain Solar, what I would do is I would have an AI literally talk to the lead, qualified him, and booked him in for an appointment. If they call this number, AI picks up immediately. That's what I would do. I wouldn't really do anything else. But in any other, if you are, for example, if you're doing this for yourself, or if you're doing this because you're, a marketer, you're doing this for other people, I would leave the phone number out. I don't like phone numbers. So it will be just a simple landing page, as you can see right here. Take you through a bunch of questions, and then the most important ones. And then that's the end of that. I already have their details. Now the real work begins. Another thing I want to bring to your attention is I also used to believe, and that was at the very, very initial stage of my marketing agency journey, I didn't know any better. So I used to think that the more questions we ask people on the forum or on the survey, like you see here, is that would make the homeowner a more qualified for solar. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The qualification of the homeowner comes from their intent. So as long as they own a single family home, and as long as they pay over $100 a month in electricity, we can work with them. Obviously, they have to have a certain credit score, but we can ask them that on the phone, because a lot of people don't like to give out this information on surveys, and you could have quite a few people not complete a survey for that reason. So you want to make sure you collect their information first, and then you can find out about their financial situation, about what their credit is like, things like that. All right, so I just wanted to put it out there. Now, this is a good landing page. I want to show you a bad looking landing page so you don't do that ever again. Now, I can see this Solar Negotiators. I don't know what this is. If this is an actual company, if this is, I don't know what this is, but I can tell you this. From my experience, if you lead from an ad and you take people over to a landing page that looks like this. First of all, that's not a landing page. That's a full-blown website with a navigation bar and everything else. To me, that's too many distractions. Yes, it has a form, but it's too many distractions. It creates too many distractions for my audience to click on and get lost. So I don't want to do that. I like simple landing pages like the one I showed you here, because they can't really do anything else other than click next, 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 and fill out the form, which is what I want them to do. Here, they scroll down. It's too many distractions. Yes, it has some social proof, but it's too many distractions. Down at the bottom, same thing, too many clickable things. I can get lost in that website. So although they can find out more about how solar works and yada, 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 I don't like to do that. I would like to leave that to a professional. I don't want them to do the research themselves. I want to be able to lead the way and show them how everything works and why solar is the best thing in the world. So I don't want to do that. So that's a bad landing page. I want to show you another one that I had pulled, which is the same thing. I don't know why people waste their money. This is bostonsolar.us. I don't know. You guys, if you're watching this video, don't do this. You might think your website's cool. Well, actually, it's not even that cool. You might be a very well-known company within your area, very respected for that, but this wastes you a lot of money. This is a money-wasting machine. Like, you're running an ad, and I purposely pulled that landing page off of the ad library right before shooting this video because I wanted to give you some bad examples. And unfortunately, Boston Solar's website made it to that video. I'm sorry, Boston Solar, but it is what it is. That's a full-blown website. Again, people can get lost. I don't want to give my audience, people landing on the landing page that I've paid for with my hard-earned money or my client's hard-earned money, to get on a page like this where there's too many distractions. It has a form, but so be it. I mean, it basically creates too many distractions. You don't want a navigation bar. You just want one freaking call to action in one button. That's the best thing you could possibly do in a funnel, okay? So I showed you some good funnels. So that's a bad funnel, okay? That's a bad funnel. Don't do that. The other one, same thing. It leads to a website. Do not do that. Now this is what I consider a decent landing page. Yes, it has a phone number, but maybe they have that covered, okay? I haven't called the phone number to see if they would respond, but it doesn't matter what day it is of the week. If they don't want to lose opportunities, I would hook that up into an AI so the AI can talk to the lead, book them in for an appointment, good to go. Another one that I want to show you is, that's the same thing, California Payback Program. So that's a good one. That is a good one. Why California Power Payback? It just sounds interesting. Now I think it's overdone, like this one a bit, but it works. We used to do that all the time. Again, it's super simple, has a little bit of social proof here. You can't really get lost, and it leads to a quiz, and it's super simple. Okay, so I like landing pages like this. I like it. All right, this one's a good one. Again, Texas Power Payback Program, same thing. It creates some sort of, like, what is the Power Payback Program? Some sort of curiosity. The other thing that it has, which any good copy on an ad or a landing page would have, is limited to 10 homeowners per zip code. What is that? It creates urgency. Okay, am I in the 10 or am I not? So it creates urgency. I like that. And it gives us a short explanation of what it is, whatever, and then survey. So that's the landing page. No social proof, no nothing. Find out if you qualify. It leads to a quiz. Okay? And pretty simple. So I like that. We've actually run the same one for, I don't know, a couple of years, and it works really well. So I'm telling you, this thing works. Okay. Now, obviously, it depends on where you're running it and how you're running it. I believe for you to do a landing page like this, you have to run it statewide. The other one, this is actually a good one. I don't know who's written it because it has some grammar error, but do your home qualify for zero upfront solar program? Obviously, it needs to be does, but it's a cool looking landing page. Again, people can't really get lost. So I like that. All right. So now let's get over to the ad library. What you need to do is you need to type in, like I said, different keywords. So going solar or go solar, and then you start scouting the ad library for nuggets. That's how we've come up with the best offers. I used to have somebody full time, one of my marketers, basically do research every week. Every single week, he'll do research at least once a week for the full day. He'll literally scout the ad library and look for inspiration, because sometimes we would rip a campaign apart and we would make it our own. We would change some things around, change the creative, change this, change that, but it'll be the same idea and very, very similar, if not the same copy. And it works really well. Why? Because it already works for someone else. And usually the way you need to look at a campaign, does that catch my attention? If you scroll through the ad library, does that catch my attention? If the creative, which is the first thing that will catch your attention, is catchy, what that means, if we do a similar creative, I don't like to, word for word, verbatim copy someone. And it's the same thing with a creative. I don't want to just steal the whole creative and run it as my own. We would make it somewhat the same or very similar, but it's not going to be the exact same. If that creative catches my attention, most likely it will catch other people's attention. So that's how I would go off of. Okay. I would not want to have too much of solar, because the concept of running an ad campaign, it is not, I repeat, it is not to sell the concept of solar right then and there. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take him through a step-by-step process, refunnel, and then at the very end, you're supposed to get him excited and get him sold. So the first thing is, your ad's supposed to sell the click. Once they click, it leads to a landing page or a lead form. On the lead form, that needs to be compelling enough for them to leave their information. So now you've captured their information. Now you can reach out to them and begin the real journey. Then when you're on the phone, you're supposed to sell them the appointment. They need to agree to meet with somebody on your team or your client's team. And then at the appointment stage is where you're actually selling the concept of solar. So you don't do that at step 1. You do that at step 3 or 4. It's the worst thing in the world you could possibly do for your advertising dollars. It's the worst possible thing that you can do and waste a lot of money in the process. So if you follow everything that I just said, I'm telling you, you're going to be good. All right, so now going back to the solar ads, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either have a image as a creative, or you can have a video. Now this looks like, I haven't played the videos, but it looks like testimonials from people. Okay, so testimonials usually do okay, sometimes very well, but it's not guaranteed that this video is going to perform better than this. Okay, that's what a lot of people get mistaken. They think, oh, that's really nice, and then it blows and it wastes a bunch of money. That's why I would never listen to my clients when they say, oh, I know that's going to perform. How do you know? You've never run this. I've done this for 4 years, and I don't even feel that cocky to say that something's going to work 100% certain every single time that we run it. I don't know. I have a good idea of what could do well, but I don't know. Until you run it, you really don't know. But generally speaking, very, very short, weird videos, usually either weird videos or weird images do extremely well to catch people's attention, because that's what you need to do. You need to make them stop. Have you seen a person scrolling through Facebook or TikTok or Instagram? They're like, I don't even know how their brain processes all of that, but the thumb goes so quick. Like, it needs to be bright, it needs to be weird, it needs to be colorful. Like, it needs to have the pattern interrupt. That's what your ad needs to have. Whether it's a video, whether it is a creative, it needs to be interesting and weird, okay? So if you don't remember anything from this entire video, if you just remember, okay, I need to have a weird image and a weird creative, that in and of itself would help you get really good results with ads. All right, so that's pretty much it. And then what you want to do is, we would literally take 3 to 5 copies like these. I would take this copy. I would take something else that I like, and then I'll put it together, maybe reword it a little bit, okay? Do a very similar creative if I'm trying to target a very narrow area or whatever. We don't usually do that. We usually like to run statewide, but put together like a weird image and things like that, and then then you have two options. You either lead them to a lead form, which I would actually prefer if I'm doing Facebook ads, or I would lead them to a page that looks something like this, okay, without the phone number. So that's pretty much how I would do it. It's not that complicated, you guys. If you think it's complicated, I don't really like that. Now, this is pretty much my process for figuring out good angles and campaigns to run on social media to get leads. If you have any other questions regarding lead generation or anything to do with funnels or ads or anything to do with solar, put it down in the comments below. I'd love to answer it. And who knows, I might make a video answering your exact question. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.